Hey guys, it's Catherine. So today I'm actually going to do a planner system video. I'm going to be talking about my current planner system. I feel like I haven't done a video like this for a while. So I just want to update you guys on where I am right now before I switch over to my planner system for 2022. So this video is not going to be extremely organized. I'm just going to go through my planners and kind of just chat about what I'm doing right now, what's working, what's not working, and maybe also talk a little bit about my plans for 2022. So I think this is going to be a pretty long video. So grab a drink if you don't have one already, and we can have a little planner chat. So right now, what you can see here is my A5 day-to-day planner. This is my Hobonichi cousin. I used this. I started out this year with my Hobonichi cousin. I've been in it for the entire year, as you can see. I really like it. I've been in the same planner system, pretty much in the same books at least, for pretty much the entire year. And I usually do that. I usually stick to the same planner system throughout the year, except for 2020, just because my life changed so much. And also in 2020, I wanted to kind of experiment with different planner products. So that's also why I was in and out of different books. But usually I like to just stay in one book or ring binder if I'm using that. So yeah, that's my Hobonichi cousin in A5 size. This cover is from vendor spec, and it's the undyed. Sorry if you hear the noise in the background, it's just my printers going off. We're just stocking up on the December products so we can ship them out to you guys. So yeah, so this is my vendor spec undyed Janet leather. I've had this for 14 or 15 months now, or maybe even longer. And you can see the patina. It's really, really beautiful. I try to, I've gotten a lot of comments on this, and when I posted it on Instagram. Here's the back if you want to see that. This was a recent scratch, but it eventually just kind of rubs out, so I'm not too worried about it. But I had a little bit of watermark here, and I spilled ink a little bit here, and I tried to remove it using nail polish remover because that's what I read somewhere, but it just made it so much worse, so guys, don't do that. But yeah, so this is the back. As you can see, it's pretty even throughout, and I've gotten a lot of comments on how I was able to get it to be so even, because it does start out with some this type of color. This is the Gillio undyed. Sorry if I'm going into random things, but that's how this video is going to be. It's just going to be a planner chat about everything and everything about my planner system, and also the covers I'm using. So it started out with a color similar to this. It was actually much lighter even. But I tried to just kind of touch it evenly, and I wasn't rough with this. I never threw it in my bag because I work from home. So I just tried to touch it evenly. Sometimes I do put it under the sun, but rarely, on purpose at least. So that's kind of just what I did. I did treat it with Apple Guard probably a week or two after I got this, because I completely forgot to do that when I first received it. So I did get a little bit of a watermark here. You can't see it anymore just because of the patina. But yeah, so that's my undyed, and I am completely in love with this. I love this caramel color. I assume it's going to be getting even darker and shinier, and I'm looking forward to that. And it definitely tells my story. I guess my story is that I was working from home and never really took this outside. But anyway, so that's my A5 size planner that I was in the entire year. And I also had a ring binder. I've had this, so I've been in a personal size ring binder since 2007 when I went to college. And not in Gillio, of course, because it's way too fancy. I don't even know if they existed back then. I'm not sure. But I was in a Kate Spade Brown ring binder. It was so beautiful. I lost it somehow. And then I was in my Louis Vuitton for like 8+ years. So I was always a ring binder girl until I switched over to bound system in 2018. But when I switched over to the book bound system, I started using my ring binder as my reference binder, and that has been working out so well. I really like having a reference binder that has all of the information, all of the important information that I might need right away, very neatly organized in one place. So that's what this is. And in 2021, this year, I split my ring binder into two. So actually into three, because one was for my personal use, and then I split my work portion. So I have two businesses and also some rental properties, but that's a separate thing. And I decided to put my businesses into a A6 binder, just so I could separate my personal and business. And I also split out my family portion into my pocket size. This is the Pocket XL from Gillio as well. It's really beautiful. It's red. This is the undyed from Gillio in medium XL. So what that means is that it's just a little bit wider, so it can accommodate side tabs if you want it, but I just chose to go with top tabs only. So that's my ring binder. But recently I decided to combine my work and personal into this one binder, just so I don't feel disoriented, because I can't really distinguish my personal goals and such with work, because I just wanted them to be in one book again, and I wanted to make things a little bit more simple for me, but the family portion is still split out into this little binder. So I'll go through this a little bit later. And I also started out this year with a 2021 Hobonichi Weeks Mega, and I think that's it. That's all I had at the beginning of this year. And recently I just added a little Stylogy on the side, because I already had this and I was using it for something else, and I stopped using it. And a few days ago I was just looking at this notebook, and I thought, you know, I have it, I might as well just use it for something. So I started using this, and I've been really liking it, and I'll go through that in a little bit as well. But just to summarize, I always have, my system has stayed pretty much the same since 2018. And basically, I have a day-to-day planner that has all of my appointments, all of my to-dos, all of the important stuff. And this is what I open daily and plan out my days very carefully. And then I have a reference binder that's sort of just, it doesn't have any calendar inserts. It's just information and notes for myself and for my businesses, so I can stay organized, because it's really hard for me to find information in this A5 cousin. But it is good for archiving year after year. And I always have some sort of binder for family, just so I can keep that information together, because I have a kid, I have a husband, and I try to stay sort of organized with our finances and medical stuff, and, you know, insurances and all that. And I always like to keep a messy planner, whether it's just a plain notebook like this, which has no dates whatsoever, or Hobonichi Weeks that has, you know, monthly calendar, weekly spreads, and you know, notes pages in the back. So that's sort of my three-part system: a daily planner, messy like writing notebooks, and a reference planner. So I can quickly sort of go through what they look like. So this is my Hobonichi cousin. Like I said, I started out this year saying that I wanted to use every single page in here. I didn't use every single page, but I came pretty close to that. I was having a lot of fun in here. I mean, this year has also been really, really crazy in terms of things that happened that were really unexpected. And it really taught me a lesson, because, you know, I can plan things down to the hour, but there are always going to be things happening in your life that's completely out of your control. It's going to happen to the people you love. It might happen to you, but you know, it's going to affect you one way or another, and you can't plan for that. So that's why I'm kind of paring down my system and trying to make it a little bit simpler for me and a little bit more streamlined for next year, because I can only imagine that next year is going to be even a little bit crazier, just in terms of the things that I can already foresee. And, you know, things might still happen that's completely out of my control. But anyway, so this is my cousin, and I am pretty much going to use my A5 planner the same way that I used my cousin this year, but I'm going to be in a plain notebook next year, and I will be drawing out my own spreads, and I have already started planning that out, so I can kind of show you a little bit about that. But I also did a video kind of going in detail through like how I plan on using my A5 bullet journal, so you can go check out that video as well. But yeah, so this is just, you know, monthly. I always have all of my to-dos, deadlines and such at a really high level. And then, you know, when you go into weeklies, I sort of like break that down even further. So I was kind of dropping out a little bit in September, October, because you know, some family stuff happened, and I took some time to kind of recenter myself. And here you can see that I'm kind of getting back to where I was before, but still I used the weeklies pretty, like, you know, I used it a lot this year, and it's really helped me. I just realized that, you know, I may not need so much space in the weekly, so I'm going to be adjusting that for my A5 bullet journal, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, that's how I'm using this, and I just basically write out my to-do list the night before, and at the end of the day I sort of just check things off, and then if I haven't done something, then I just move it. That's how I'm using this. And right now it's November. This is the week that I'm filming this video in, so that's where I'm at right now. And the dailies I've just been using as brain dump, notes, happenings, stream of consciousness, like journaling maybe, just quickly writing down whatever is in my thought. That's how I've been using the dailies, and that's been working out. But I will be making some adjustments for that as well, for the daily portion as well, for my A5 bullet journal. So that's pretty much how I use my A5, and I just kind of put letters that I receive from, you know, insurance companies or whatever that I need to kind of review at a later time. I try to just keep them here so I don't lose track of them if it's an important document that I really need to review. So that's what I use the back pockets for. And this is a 2022 weekly supplement for A6 Hobonichi Techo. I wanted to get this because I was thinking maybe I can use this as my weekly section in my A5 bullet journal instead of drawing it out. But then I think I do still want to just keep everything together. So what I'm going to be using this for is I'm going to use it to sketch out my day, like in terms of hours, like schedule. So it'll be a time blocking type of tool for me. I just ordered this when I was placing my order with Hobonichi in Japan, when I purchased all my 2022 planners. So I figured why not just add this, because it's cheaper to get it through Hobonichi, and you know, it doesn't add on the shipping as that much, because you know, it doesn't add anything at all. Actually, I actually tried to see if it would make a difference, and it didn't. So I just decided to get this, so just because it was like much cheaper to get it, and I just really wanted to try it out. So that's my A5 size planner, and I've been wanting to do a flip of my ring binder for the longest time, for like over a year now, and I just kept on talking about it, but I just never got to it. I think the reason why is because it was just really my ring binder was so messy, and I didn't really touch it that much this year because like I said, I was going through some stuff with my family. You know, it was a really difficult time for all of us. So I was so disoriented this year because I don't know, I didn't keep up with my journaling either, because I just felt bad for writing down anything that was good, or I didn't want to write anything that was bad, just because I don't like to do that in my journals, because I feel like when I write it down, it becomes solidified and it stays with us forever. Whereas if I just don't write it down, then it disappears from my memory somehow. That's just like my weird logic, I guess. But I don't like to write anything bad in my journals, and I also felt really guilty for writing anything joyful. And it was the same with my ring binders. It was just so hard to kind of go into it and write anything down, because I was just so, my brain was just so clogged with like all the things that were happening. So I felt really disoriented. But a month ago, maybe not a month ago, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, I went back into it and I thought, you know, all right, let's kind of revisit this and reformat this so that I can stay on track with my planning, organization, and my life. So that's what I did here, and now I think it's much more presentable, and it also makes much more sense to me. So that's why I'm sort of ready to show you guys what's in here. So just to recap a little, this is my reference binder, and it has no calendar section at all. So I can use this from year to year. I can use it for 20 years from now, and it's going to have a similar type of information. Maybe my life would have changed a lot, so the categories might be a little bit different, but it's not going to be something that's dated, and it's not going to have inserts that I need to constantly take out and put in. So that's what this ring binder is. So let me just quickly go through what's in here. I don't really decorate my pockets, but I saw Sierra's planner and I thought that looked really cute, so I tried to do something here. I don't think it looks that good, but I tried. So this is a picture of me and my husband on our wedding. It was a lovely day, and this die cut is from Bunny Plans. I took it out from my, photo from a while ago. I thought that was really cute, and I just needed something cute in my life at this current moment. And this is a die cut from my shop. I printed it on cardstock, but it's also available as a sticker cutout. It's from the December collection. And this is a ginkgo leaf that my mom picked up, and then she laminated and cut around it for me. She said it reminded her of her mom, my grandmother, so I thought that was really sweet. So I put it in here, and I think it looks really good with the undyed leather. And I did treat my undyed with apple guard, of course. So that's my cover. I think this ollie clip is way too big, but I for some reason can't find any of my smaller ollie clips, so I placed an order for some more. So that's that, and put that back in. So now let's start. This is a dashboard from a while ago from my shop. I released this printable that you could edit this section, so you could type in whatever you want, and it came in different colors. It's from the July collection from 2020. That was my second ever collection, so I'm going to keep it in here even though it's like very summery, just because it's very special to me. So I just started out with the planner with my name, Catherine, and then I'll quickly kind of give you an overview of how I organize my tabs, and then I'll go through each one so that you can kind of get a big picture of how I organize my planner. Let me put it to the side a little bit. Okay, so these dividers, first of all, are from cloth and paper. I just got the plain glass top tab for the personal size, and then what I did was I printed out my own labels on top. And at first I was going to print it just as black, but then I was like, wait, I run a sticker shop and I have foiled products, why don't I just make them foiled? So that's what I did, and I love how it turned out. And it's not a product available in my shop, so sorry, I don't think I'll do that anytime soon. But so there are 12 tabs in total. The first 4 are sort of just like the items that I like to visit like daily, and these are the fun tabs. And I just sandwich the middle. I put the more serious things in the middle, and then the last portion is just something even more like serious and just not as exciting. So the first 4 tabs are big picture, self-love, brain food, and organizer. So big picture is for inspiration and goals. Self-love is for self-care related things, fitness and all that. Brain food is for things I want to learn, reading mostly, book reading list and such. And organizer is for planner related content. So when I brainstorm my planner system, and if I get confused or whatever, I try to write stuff down so I can kind of think out loud. And then the next 4 are Sterling Ink, which is my Sterling Ink shop related items. Magnifica is my other business. We sell home decor items that I designed with my partner. And Polyglot is for language learning, because I would like to learn, I would like to be able to speak 10 languages someday. I speak 3 fluently right now. So that's my section there. And then arts is for painting projects, art projects, and also piano. Project is for any kind. I always dream up projects for myself. Sterling Ink was a project, Magnifica was a project, and they became full-on businesses. So I really like the section project. So it's just whatever random idea I would have, I would just park that in the project section, and if it becomes a real thing, then I'll create a section for it eventually. And this is, I don't know if you can see, but this is Catman Cave, and that's just for our home, because my name is Catherine, my husband's name is Norman, so we call our home Catman Cave, playing off of the word Batman Cave. And then next is info center, so that has like password and like account information and such. And the last one is random thoughts, and that's just a miscellaneous section. So now let's go into each of the section, and I can talk a little bit more about that. although I can't really go into too much detail, but I can kind of show you or explain how I use each section. So the first one is big picture, and this is just where I would like to come into every day before I start work, just to kind of think about why I'm doing what I'm doing, where I want to be in the future, where I want to be in 10 years, what kind of life I want to create for myself and such, for myself and my family. So that's what this is. Again, I use that dashboard that I created. So this is inspiration and goals. I can't show you the first few pages, but I do have a section for quotes that I liked, that inspirational quotes that I liked from books I was reading. So I wrote it down, and I just put down my washi tape from the July collection as well. So it's the matching washi tape to this design. I really like this washi. So this has all of my quotes, and before I actually get into that, I just wanted to quickly talk about my inserts. So I am completely sick and tired of cutting and printing my own inserts, and I don't like that look of jagged paper over here. So what I did was I actually ordered these pre-made inserts from Live brand. It's a Japanese brand, and I got them in plain and lined version and also grid version. And I purchased them from Amazon Japan, and it was really cheap. This whole packet of 100 sheets, so that's 200 pages, 100 sheets. I got this for like $6 or maybe like $5 at the time. I think it went up a little bit, but it was very inexpensive, and I decided to just get a bunch. And I also got a bunch of the plain ones so I can just print directly on it. I have to test out my printer setting a little bit because it's smudged a little bit, so I need to check on that. But yeah, that's why I got these, and these are much yellower than white paper, so if you don't like that, then don't get these. But this is really high quality paper, and I can use my fountain pen. It doesn't feather or anything. That's why I like it. That's also another issue I had with the inserts that I print myself, because my favorite paper is from Hammermill, and it's not fountain pen friendly, and I don't like the HP one because it's too white. So planner problem, sorry. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly go over that in case you guys ask. So it's been really easy because I just quickly grab a whole stack of these and then put it into my planner without having to worry about cutting and printing inserts. So all of the inserts that I have here are either lined like this or ruled or plain, and I don't use any pre-designed inserts unless it's like contacts or whatever. Then I just grab it from my shop, because I used to sell printable inserts before, so I have a whole lot of designs that I can choose from if I need it. Anyway, so going back to this is just like a sheet of quotes that I liked from the books that I was reading, just mostly inspirational quotes. And this one you guys are probably familiar with, because this has stayed in my planner for like forever, for a few years. I created this pullout of inspirational quotes in image form, and just made a collage of it, and I do go through it from time to time, and it makes me really happy to go through these because I feel like I've been doing this every day, and it's just a little self-talk, and also just it's really fun to look through this and then kind of remind myself what I want to do with my life and the kind of life I want to lead for myself. So that's what that is. And then I have a section called notes, and this is notes for myself. And I won't show you the content of it, but it's just basically lined paper, and I wrote out, as the days go by, I do write out little wins and accomplishments. So I would put the date, and I would write something that I felt like was an accomplishment, a small win. And then just recently, maybe like a few days ago, me and my husband were just going through this section, and I was just telling him, wow, this was only like a year or like a little over a year ago, and I've already gone so much further beyond where I was here, and I just felt really proud of myself, and it was just really fun to read that. And I also do have another sheet behind that, and it's on the things I need to improve on, just so I can look at the accomplishments, but then also remind myself, you know, these are the things that you should still work on, because you know, you're not perfect and there's still room for improvement. So that's what the notes section is for. And then the next section is self-care. Again, this is the cloth and paper divider, and I just put the label on top. This is from when I purchased I used to use strictly Louis Vuitton planner inserts, and I thought I was so fancy, but it's actually so much cheaper than like anything else I buy now regarding planners. But anyway, they used to include this with your inserts when you purchase, and then after 2 years they discontinued it. After 2 years I started purchasing their inserts, they discontinued that. So I mean, I keep it around because it's really useful and it's very functional. Anyway, so I keep it in my planner. So now here I'm not fully like set up, but I have the first section is just my skincare routine. I've had this for years as well, the same, like literally the same printout. That's why it's on a white paper, because I just pulled it from my planner before. And this just has my skincare routine that I created for myself. And I have a contact section that I obviously did not fill out, but it's supposed to have like information on my doctors, my, you know, dermatologists and all that. And then I had a purchase list here because I wanted to kind of just write down like wish list items or like things I need to buy for myself. But I haven't really used this that much. I just kind of go ahead and buy them without making a list. And then yeah, and then I have this section, 75 hard tracker. So 75 hard was a challenge I used to do and I really liked it. It's really, really intense. I don't do it anymore like strictly, but I like this insert, so I still use it for tracking my workouts. So there are all these things that you need to do and I don't follow it strictly. I mean, I read every day, so like that's a no-brainer. I don't even have to check that out, check that off. But you're supposed to work out twice a day, so I do just cross it off if I worked out twice, and I put the date at the end. So that's basically how I'm using this. And I also just put a put in here when I worked out. So you're supposed to do this for 75 days, and obviously like I'm not following it strictly, so I just kind of fill it out as I go. So that's just one way to, it just works for me, so that's what I'm doing. This is also really, really old. I created this because I wanted to do front splits, middle splits. I wanted to open my shoulders more, and I want to do this. I used to be able to do that, so I want to work towards that again. And I also just have one section where I kind of write down ways that you can relieve your shoulder pain, like opening your shoulders, because I sit around all day doing my work. So I just wanted to have that as a reminder for myself. And then I have a fitness section. So this, I just put in some inspiration images and also my photos so that I can motivate myself, because I was there once. This is the BBG program, Beach Body program. Now she changed it to Sweat, so you guys might be familiar with that. It's by Kayla Itzins. I think that's how you say her name. But I was so sick of like putting this on my phone, because my phone would fall asleep and it's just really annoying to have to keep on turning it on. So I just used this instead. And this was back when she used to sell like PDFs of her workout, so I just kind of created an insert using that. Then after that is my brain food section. That's my, like I said, it's my reading section. So I have a reading list. These are self-development ones. I don't really read these anymore, this type of books anymore, just because I feel like they all sound kind of the same, so I'm kind of sick of them. But I still kept it in there in case I want to revisit some of the books. And I have reading lists. So these are all the books that I already have. So I just kind of wrote out a list of all the books that I have, so I can kind of keep track. Since then I've purchased much more, so I probably need to update this list. Classics recommendations, it's just like when I'm watching YouTubers talking about books, and if I think something is interesting, then I write it down so I can keep track of them. I do prefer to read classics, and that's just what I prefer. So I like to I wrote that down in case I want to find something to read. And then I have some authors that I want to read every single book from, so I just wrote down a list. Thomas Pynchon, Robert Bolaño, whom I love. So these are all his books. And then Leo Tolstoy, I love Russian literature, so Dostoevsky. And then these are just some random books that I like that are also classics, that I just wrote down. I like to keep lists, as you can tell. And these are the books that I found a Quora. It's kind of similar to Reddit, but I found a Quora thread where someone was asking which books are good for reading multiple times, and you can find something new every time. So I kept a list of people's recommendations, and I have already read several of these, so that was really fun. And books, podcasts, courses to look for. So these are the things I want to learn and read about. And then going into my organizer section, So this is for my planner related things that I wanted to write down. So this is a vellum for my shop. It's from the November collection. I just took a misprint. It's just a bad print, so that's why it's kind of like curving. Normally it's not supposed to do that, so I just cut it up, and instead of throwing it in the trash, then I was trying to kind of come up with a list of Hobonichi books to buy when they release their new products for 2022. So I was trying to figure out my system, and I was also combining an order with a friend, so I wanted to kind of keep track of like what everyone's getting. And I started planning out my 2022 system, and then here I was writing them down in more detail. So yeah, and then here I was trying to break down my sections in my personal binder and sections for my Pocket XL, which is my family binder. And I gotta go a little bit faster. Okay, so yeah, just more like how I'm going to break down my bullet journal. So that's kind of, I was planning out the page numbers here. So that's really fun. And going into Sterling ink. So Sterling ink, again, as you can see, I just used this type of inserts, and I just started out with this is a vellum from my shop from the October collection, and then I just keep a to-do list up front so I can kind of check them off as I go. And then I just have several pages in the back. I always start out a new page if I feel like I need to keep track of something. So for example, like video ideas would be one page, you know, finance section would be one page, and then if I feel like I need a tab and to make it more organized, then I'll do that later. And then Magnifica, I also do something similar. So that's my other business. And then Polyglot is the language section. So these are just the languages I want to learn. I currently speak Mandarin Chinese, Korean, English. I read and write in all three. And then currently I'm learning Japanese and Spanish. So Japanese and Spanish, I already have some good foundation already, and French and Cantonese are the ones that I want to learn next. So I start the ones that I want to kind of tackle first, and then I would like to speak Russian, German, Portuguese. So I want to speak 10 languages total, and I still want to improve on the languages I speak already. So I have some notes on that. And for Japanese, I want to take the language proficiency test I wanted to take that at the end of this year, but obviously it didn't happen because my life just went down and it was just really bad this year. I had no energy for this, so hopefully I can go back to it next year. I just wrote out a plan of like how I want to tackle that test and what books I want to read. After that, I have the art section. So I want to fill my home with art that I create. So I wrote out the areas that might need artworks, and so that I can kind of start planning out what kind of art I want to create throughout my home. And I also have a section for piano pieces. So I did have a section that I already filled out the pieces I want to learn, but it was kind of messy, so I just took that out. I'm going to rewrite that so I can practice more. I love playing the piano. It's just so relaxing, and I love the sound coming out. So project, like I said, it's just a section of project. And then Catman Cave is our home. So me and my husband both worked as interior designers. I'm an architect as well. So we like to kind of switch things up in our home and do the work ourselves. So it's just like project ideas for myself. And then if I want to think about organization, I also write that here as well. So that's the section. Info center is for password, account information and such. Random thoughts, just random things I don't know where to put. And this is the things I want to learn someday. So that's it. That's my personal binder. And I have this page lifter at the end as well. This is from Foxy Fix. I don't know what happened to them. I hope they come back, but yeah, that's from Foxy Fix. I'm sure you can buy it from Buy Sell Trade somewhere, but I find that it's really useful for keeping your pages neat. Okay, sorry, that's the thunder. So let me quickly go into my family planner. So this is a Gillio red Epoca in the pocket size XL. So it's larger, wider than your typical pocket from Pocket Campagna from Gillio. It has a big back pocket. It's beautiful. I love this texture. I got exactly what I wanted. I think this is the first time that I actually got something that I asked for without any flaws. So in the front I have a business card from July. It's so pretty. It's my business card, so I keep it in here. I think it looks really great with this. I have my vaccine card for COVID-19, just in case we need that later. So, and then I keep all of my like miscellaneous credit cards that I might not need from day to day in this pocket. And I also keep like gift cards and credit card that I need to use more frequently up in the front, but I just pulled that out for this video because I didn't want to expose all of that information. So I can quickly show you the sections. I haven't fully set this up yet, but this is how I want to organize this, and I started using this and it's just been really helpful to access information right away. So what this is basically just to have important information or fun information regarding the members in our family and also our home. So I have 9 tabs. These tabs are also from cloth and paper, and I also created the labels here and foiled them with gold foil. And the inserts are from, let me quickly show you, these are also Life brand inserts. And what you should know about the Japanese pocket size is that it's a little bit different from the US pocket size. It's a little bit taller and I think narrower, if I remember correctly. But I don't mind because that's the only insert I'll be using, so it's not like it's going to not match the other inserts. So at the front I'm not going to go through everything in detail, but I can kind of give you an idea of like how I use these. So the first section is general information. So that's, you know, as you can imagine, it's like very just overview. It's an overview of like our family, so things I need to access right away. And I just left myself a note saying that I needed to add a social section, so that would be for our family, friends, and you know, things like that. So if we wanted to kind of keep some contact information or, you know, birthdays and such, or gifting, gift ideas, that would be the section for that. I need to add that section. And so the first section is general information, and then the second portion is for my son Sterling, and I have a main to-do list up front, and I also have some inserts in the back where I write down just like keep track of like the milestone dates, so that it's very easy to kind of go through. I do write out like a lot of like what happened with him in my 5-year journal, but as you can imagine, it's really hard to kind of go through this and find out exactly when he got his first tooth and, you know, such. Is just harder. So I like to use this section to keep track of his milestones. And you know, at the moment when it happens, you think you're never going to forget it, but you know, you do forget, because at least I forget, because I'm human and I'm not perfect. So that's that. Norman is my husband, so I have a section for him. I haven't filled out anything here yet. I need to transfer some stuff from another notebook, but that's what I want to use this section for his important information, dates, kind of like highlights and such, anything pertaining to our relationship and him. So family plans is for traveling, travel plans, travel ideas, activity ideas and such. Home is for like things in our household. So for example, like cleaning schedule, or you know, equipment that we bought that has warranty information. I like to just keep track of everything here, so that I can just, you know, me and my husband can both go in here and just find out exactly what we want, because it's always hard to go through stacks and stacks of paper to find out exactly like what the warranty number is and product number and product model and such, for big ticket items like a fridge or like stove and such. So that's what that is. Finance, we can't show you, but that just has information on our loan, when things will mature, and you know, our finance stat, and also budgeting and that type of information. Insurance has like information about like our life insurance, like when we signed, what happened if we go on like customer service calls, and if there are things that we need to write down, so that the next time when we're on the call, we can talk to whoever that we were supposed to speak to, and then tell them exactly who we spoke to and what happened, what our conversation was like. So that would be in that section. Contacts is just, you know, contacts is like, you know, it's pretty obvious. Contacts is contacts. And miscellaneous just has extra inserts, and whatever that doesn't fit into any of the other sections would be in here until when I find a section for that. Yeah, so that's everything. And this is from Knox. I also purchased this from Amazon Japan. This is from the brand Knox, and they make these very thin page lifters, and since Foxy Fix isn't around anymore, I just purchased this one. It works just as well. it's very thin though. So that's that, and that's my pocket. So now that's my ring binder, and that's kind of the main things that I wanted to talk about. Maybe I should just go into this a little bit. My Hope Niche Weeks is my messy planner. So if you look at this specific weeks, the first half of the year was just empty because I don't want to go into too much detail, but something happened in our family. So whenever I get on a call or something, whenever I used to take down notes, I was writing in my other Hope Niche Weeks, also for 2021, and I was writing in the back. And it just becomes so painful to look at that notebook, like, because it just reminds me of what happened. So I decided to just put that away, and I'm not even gonna look at it. So I decided to just pull out my extra one and started using it from whenever I started to use it. And I can kind of show you guys how I use this. So I can't show you the calendar portion too much, but basically I kind of use this section to plan out for my shop, like when I want to have a sale, when I want to do a release, like when I plan out my deadlines and such. But normally I use this like this. It's just extremely messy, and I write down ideas and such, and plan out my to-do list for each day. Or sometimes it's just like a place to be messy, and it's like scratch paper. And I also test out my stickers here. So that's how I use this, and that's how I'm going to be using my Hope Niche Weeks next year, and it's going to be in this notebook. But I do want to kind of make it a little bit neater than what I have right now, because right now it's just absolute chaos and nobody can understand what's actually in there, because even I sometimes can't tell what I actually wanted to do. And the notes pages I do use, and they're really helpful, but they're helpful for making a list and such because it's so narrow, but it's not so good for if I want to brain dump and write out just everything that's in my mind so I can figure out exactly what I want or what my thoughts are, what my ideas are. It's just really hard. So I pulled out this because I already had it, and I started using it a while ago, and I stopped. So I figured, you know, I already have this one, I might as well just use it. So I pulled this out. I put a sticker in the front. This is a new product in my shop. So this is a clear vinyl sticker, so it's waterproof, and it's from the December collection. You can use it on your laptop as well. It's clear, but it's printed with white ink in the background, so you can still see the actual design even if you put it on the black cover. So I think this is what I had in mind when I created this product. So that's what I put there. And I don't think I'm going to get a cover for this because I do like how slim and like compact it is, and I can just throw it around and not feel bad about it. So this is my Stylogy. It has 360 pages. I would never use a Stylogy as my bullet journal just because I like to use my fountain pens, and it feathers when I use my fountain pens in here. Of course, it doesn't matter if I'm just brain dumping because I can still read what I'm writing. Of course, it doesn't matter when I'm just using it as a brain dump because I can still read my writing, but it will really annoy me if it was my bullet journal and all my writing feathered. That would just be terrible. So I kind of started using it just to write down whatever, and it's just been really nice. I like the size of this. I'm just writing down ideas for my new collections, and just whatever the hell that's in my mind. So I've been using this, and it's just fun. So that's just my fun book. And I don't have to worry about damaging it because I don't really care about it that much. And that's what I'm using this for. And what else can I talk about? So recently I've been really into my fountain pens again. I mean, I've always been into them, but I fill them with different ink colors. And I didn't realize this, but when I had different ink colors, I felt like they would only look good in the daily sections in my Hope Niche Cousin. And if I started using them in the weekly section, so like this, my weekly sections, I didn't really like the way it looked unless it was in script form. But it's also really hard to read it if it's in script handwriting. So and see, like, it's much nicer to have this type of handwriting here, and I prefer that to be all black. And I can show you. So this is my November, and this is like, it's just hard to see. So let me show you a really nice red. So that's all black, so it's really, really nice to look at. So I realized that, and I was like, well, I still want to use my fountain pens. So this, I figured the solution was like actually really, really simple. I just pulled out all of my ink from my fountain pens, and I filled all of them with my black ink, which is this one. and this is really nice. It dries pretty fast on Tomoe River paper. So I filled all of my fountain pens with that ink, and I've just been using only fountain pens, and it's just so nice. This is all fountain pen. Yeah, and this has been my favorite so far. This is a decimal from Pilot, and it's a retractable pen in fine, and it's very thick and nice and smooth. So I've been using that a lot along with many of my other fountain pens. So that's been a change for me this year. So that's everything, and that's just where I am right now. I don't think it will change much until the end of this year. I'm super excited to go into my Hobonichi weeks very soon, in 2 weeks. I think I'm going to start setting this up, and by setting it up, it's not that fancy. It's just like writing down important days like birthdays and like such, just to begin with. And then I started making some notes in this, because in the Hobonichi weeks you have until March of next year. So it's been really helpful for planning ahead for my business. So I'm going to transfer some of that information over to here, January, February, March, and plan ahead. So that's what I mean by setting it up. It's not fancy at all. I did get a slim Appunto, so this is probably gonna go into that. And I'll be using the back as well for notes and whatever I need to use it for. There are no rules. I don't have any rules in terms of decoration. If I feel like putting on a sticker, I'll put it on. If I don't feel like it, I won't put it on. But it's just a place to be free and functional. And I got the sneaker version, and I really like that it doesn't have the bookmarks. They really piss me off, so I actually cut it off because I just couldn't handle it. I don't like to butcher my notebooks, but I did that because it was just really annoying me. So I really appreciate that there's no bookmarks here. So I'm really excited to get into this. I love this color. I almost wanted to get a acid green cover for it from Gillio because I feel like they would match, but I'm not sure if I would get sick of that color later. If it's in leather form. So that's that, and I might start to put on some of these stickers here just to decorate it, because I do want to make it kind of floral and cute. So that's everything. I hope I made some sense. I did not plan this video at all. I just really wanted to get on here and into a planner chat with you guys, and also doing these videos kind of clear my head as well in terms of what I want to do with my system. So that's been fun, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. And if you like my content, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I create planner related videos and also talk about my business sometimes, and I also show you the products I create. So if you're into that, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I think I will be talking about my 2022 system in the next one, or I'll be setting up my A5 bullet journal in the next video. So that's that, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.